Hi there, I'm Elisha Shamba, the editor of Art News, and I'm here at Newark Museum for the event Shared Futures. We've got Tim and Duncan who are running this event.
Right, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Can you tell us brief what roles you play?
Well, I mean, the Shared Futures project is a funded project by Comic Relief. They were keen to promote and establish a kind of legacy of some of the work that's being established across the UK to support the settling in and the integration of refugee children and young people. They were aware that there's a lot of guidance out there and quite a lot of good practice, but they wanted in some ways to promote the idea or to capture it and then promote it and disseminate it across other settings so that people can learn from it. And Comic Relief identified a small charity called Salisbury World that had done a lot of good work in this area, and they're based in Brent in London. But so through Salisbury World, they thought about the kind of guidance that they'd written before and distributed to schools and other settings, youth settings, and they identified groups of children and young people that they could talk to consult those young refugees and other young people about what kind of support they most needed and what was most important aspects of their integration. So a project was built around that, and Duncan's a project manager. He can talk to you about the resource that was built from that and the consultation that we've done.
Thank you. Over to Duncan.
Okay,
Tell us more.
Yeah, so what we did initially was we went out across the UK to talk to young people's families, to their guardians and carers about the issues that were most affecting them and what the issues were to help their integration, such as feeling welcome, making friends, feeling safe in the community, celebrating their cultural diversity and that. And once we'd gathered this information, and we'd also done some research from all the past research, what we did then was we went out into the whole of the UK and collected good practice on film. So we filmed in Scotland, in Glasgow, we filmed in Wales, in Cardiff, we filmed down south in Portsmouth, in the northeast, in Newcastle, northwest in Bolton, in Bristol, and we looked at several sites in London, and we looked at the good practice that was going on, listening to young people's voices about them, listening to the parents and carers' voices, and capturing it all on film. And we filmed in primary schools, we filmed in secondary schools, we filmed in youth settings, so in youth groups, after schools and stuff like that. So we've got a variety of places that we've actually filmed, and that's all on the DVD. Good. And then after that, what we did was we, along with Tim and another colleague of ours, Bill, we wrote the pack. So this pack is resources that actually support the film. So the practitioners who work with young people and their parents and carers can actually use the films but use the resources that go with them. So there's a resource pack and a DVD. So maybe Tim can tell you more about.
Before Tim tells me interesting stuff that we have, are you having any backing from the government?
No, it's from Comic Relief. So Red Nose Day is happening, I think it's this Friday. So 2 years ago, people raised money and that goes to work in the UK and also work in Africa. And this pot of money, Salisbury World got a pot of money from Comic Relief to actually do this project.
There is alignment in the sense that myself and my colleague Bill, who's also involved in this project, have written the guidance for the Qualification Curriculum Authority on teaching new arrivals. We wrote the guidance for the Home Office of the DCSF on supporting the integration of refugees in education settings. We've written other guidance which has got a national profile. So in some ways we were drawing on that kind of work in order to inform this, but we're much more interested here in promoting a holistic approach, one that really thought about the needs of the whole child and responded to what they were saying, rather than it being dictated by sort of rather narrow view around government policy initiatives and priorities. And I think that's been what's been most welcome in schools and other settings across the UK, because we've rolled this out. We've had regional launches across the UK. We've got hundreds of people in attendance. There's been an enormous interest, not in the resource just alone, as a standalone resource, but as just something they can use to stimulate further reflection and planning in their own settings. Something that they feel is real, that isn't divorced from their reality from day to day, is helpful in that it talks to them in the way that they would talk to each other. So I think that's been its best use.
That's good, that's good. Now, talk about Leicester. It's got a reputation as being culturally diverse. And now we're having this event being held in Leicester, and there's big attendance. What would you say about that?
Well, I was quite nervous when coming to Leicester because Leicester and the East Midlands were aware there's quite a lot of good practice, particularly around ethnic minority achievement work in schools that I was aware of, and probably lots more outside of schools that's going on around supporting cohesion and race equality. I think, therefore, we're a bit nervous because we know there's a lot of good stuff here. We wanted to make sure that what we provided was seen as supportive and not dictating anything that was detached from the reality. Keen to make contact with groups, keen to find out what kind of work is going on. We've met some practitioners already, like there's a Somali advocate who's working with unaccompanied children and other children and families. It's a new post that the NSPCC has developed. That sounds really interesting because they consulted and that informed the project. We're meeting your initiative here, which I think is hugely important to give a voice to people in the media who are regularly categorised and pilloried but never given a voice and a platform. So I think, that kind of, just that experience today for us means that we can connect better with what's going on here, link that to other work that we're doing outside of this region, make sure that other people are aware of it, and make those connections in the same way people are today at lunch, networking, making connections on a local level.
And I think also it's stimulating. It's stimulating conversation. You can hear a lot of people thinking about doing things. When I was talking networking. When I was talking to Brian, he's talking about doing future filming with young people and stuff like that. So there's a lot of things going on.
Are you going to be, because there's a refugee week that's coming sometime in June, will you be participating?
Always have.
Always have?
Yeah, since its inception.
Yeah, and 2 years ago we filmed for Refugee Week, and it's actually on the DVD, so we captured some aspects of Refugee Week in different schools and youth groups, but every year we are, and the communities that we work with participate in the event, so we'll definitely be part of it.
Thank you very much. Duncan, Tim, thank you very much for sparing this time to talk to Citizens Eye and Hat News.
It's a pleasure.
Hope you enjoy the rest of the event.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.